Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, there was utter chaos at Portland State University Thursday evening. More than 100 social justice warriors showed up to shut down a pro-Trump group. Now, this was the forming meeting for Portland State Students for Donald Trump. They all showed up to shut down and silence the pro-Trump group. They mocked their talking points, whined about Trump chalk on the sidewalk. Oh, it's the chalkening all over again. And then they were also issuing threats to shut down any future meetings if the group dared try to assemble in the future. And joining me now are two students there out of Portland, speaking with Matt Duffy and Vladimir Kolichev. Now, Vladimir, you are the organizer, the leader there of these Portland students for Donald Trump. Now, what prompted you to bring this meeting on? Obviously, you guys seem like you're the minority on campus.
The reason we formed the group was to, of course, form an official Trump group on campus, but also to see what kind of reaction we will get. And we expected a reaction similar to this, but we did not expect it to be on this scale. We expected maybe 3 or 4 Trump supporters to come. Instead, I made a list and we got about 25 people, and we expected maybe 30 protesters to come, because when these guys shut down like a board meeting, they usually have maybe 30 people. But I think 100 at least people showed up to protest us, and there were violent Antifa members who one of them tried to assault my friend. And but for the most part, they were just really loud and really disrespectful, essentially.
Yeah. And so you say is that like an anti-fascist movement on campus?
Well, okay, they describe themselves as anti-fascists, but their whole goal is beating up anyone that disagrees with them.
Right, so they're basically using fascist tactics to shut you down and silence you and intimidate you into not having your meeting.
Stalinist tactics.
Exactly.
Excellent. And so you're saying that you put this together and you kind of knew you were going to get a little bit of a backlash here. So was that the idea with putting the chalk on campus? Because why are people so triggered by chalk? What's happening there?
I think the chalk thing became a sort of symbol, and the reason we did it in chalk is because everyone else did it in chalk, and we had a very intricate. I can send you a picture of it. We had a very intricate, pretty one, and nobody touched us while we were down there. But as soon as my friend left to take a picture, people started getting confrontational with me, but nobody actually did anything violent. And then we finally went upstairs and filmed from above there, and some guy came in and defaced it. And we filmed him. We were like, "What are you doing, dude?" And he just ran away. And I posted that online, and they saw a bunch of it, so that maybe also had another effect.
Well, this is the big civil rights movement of our time. People need to take down Trump, and they're not going there, of course, and shutting down any pro-Hillary meetings, things like that, when, of course, that's Bernie Sanders' main competition. Now, Matt, so you were there at this meeting. Tell me about your experience. What did you think?
Well, basically, we all gathered. At the beginning, there was about 10 or 11 or maybe 12 of us. We sat down at a table, and then immediately we were swarmed by at least over 100 Black Lives Matter Bernie people, all surrounding us. They wouldn't let us speak. Our group would try to talk, and they would immediately just shout at us, tell us to shut up. I would whisper something to my friend next to me, and I would get hit on the back and then told to shut up.
Wow.
So after that, we moved to another part of the room because there was no conversation. There was no dialogue really happening. We moved to another part of the room where we had some really good dialogue amongst about 5 or 6 Trump people and 3 or 4 Bernie people. And then the Black Lives Matter people surrounded us again. And then they tightly enclosed around us. And then me and my friend were physically assaulted. We were shoved, pushed, and there's video of that online. And then my friend's hat was stolen from him and then thrown across the room. So that's the tolerant liberals right there. So they scream tolerance, yet they are the most intolerant people. And they were all blatantly anti-white, hated white people. Their main argument was, well, because you're white, that means you're racist because your ancestors, killed natives and, did all this stuff. It's like, well, so I'm basically being held accountable for things my ancestors may or may not have done.
Right.
which is just completely ridiculous.
Right, and of course, slavery has only happened here in the United States of America.
Exactly.
And
Oh,
let's
yeah, of
just go ahead
course.
and rewrite history so that it suits the present day people who are clearly being programmed there on campus, but are under the impression that this is a totally authentic revolution that is happening right now. Now,
And they
sorry,
they seem to forget that white people ended slavery in America.
yeah,
They seem to forget that, and it was predominantly white Christians. And it was white Christians who said, "Why don't we end it around the globe?"
yeah, worldwide, in fact.
Exactly.
But no,
And yeah,
you sound
Yeah,
racist.
oh well, hey, listen.
Facts are racist, Matt.
Exactly. They were just throwing the label of racist at us, and we didn't grovel to them. We didn't bow down. We stood up. We fought, and that's what made them angry. I don't think they were there because they hated Trump. They were there because they hated us. And the fact that we didn't bow down to them, we didn't grovel to them, we didn't just curl up in a ball and say sorry, 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 sorry. We stood up for free speech, we stood up for Donald Trump, and we stood up for the Republic.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do, because that's the thing is that the totalitarians don't like when you don't agree with their ideology. Now, Vladimir, so the rumor was that the police were called, but they didn't show up, or what? So what?
Yes. So when the anti-fascist guy jumped on the table and tried to assault my friend, I went down to another building and asked them to give us the number of the campus security. And when I did get that number, a bunch of so I called them and they said they sent somebody down, but I saw no one in like uniform. Maybe they sent someone who was plain clothed. So I can't really say that they didn't come, but there's no evidence that they did come either. And so I have no clue.
Well, you know, safe spaces aren't for people with an opposing viewpoint. Obviously, they only create these safe spaces for a certain kind of student. So now we saw at the end of the video, they were making threats to shut down any future meetings that you all decide to put on. Are you guys going to cower to the demands, or will you be putting on another meeting, and would you like to make a call to action right now?
I don't know how soon we can have another. We should have another meeting. I mean, we're all students. We have studies and all of that. But I think maybe within a month. And I've had people message me up and say that they're going to come to the next one. So if everyone comes again, we might have 50 people. I think it's very, very infective. The fact that if you stand up for your beliefs, other people who are less confident, they stand up for their beliefs as well. And these guys aren't going to increase. They're pretty much, their utility is gone. They're not going to increase in size.
Right. Well, and so that's the issue with it there, is that you can't really fight those people with, you have to fight them with facts, and the only thing that they have to retaliate with is authoritarianism, intimidation tactics, and violent threats. And it's great that you guys got all of this on video, because it puts it virally out there that this is the tactic that they're using. They're saying that you guys are racist and violent in this, but then it's right there captured on camera. Exactly. You're just trying to have a nice dialogue. Well, so tell me, how can people get in touch with your group?
Well, they can contact our Facebook page, or they can contact me, or just contact the Facebook page. Simple as that.
Portland State Students for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I'll be making people moderators, so we can have, it's hard for me and my friend to do it by ourselves. So I added Matt as a moderator now.
Well, we got about a minute left, Matt. And do you guys have anything to say to any people out there who might be afraid to stand up on their campus for fear of the same type of retaliation?
Well, look, you just have to use, their arguments can be easily broken apart with basic logic. They said, because I'm white, that means I'm racist, and my ancestors were racist, and I need to be held accountable for that. Well, Bernie Sanders is white. Why aren't they holding him accountable? So just use basic logic, and it feels good. It felt really good, being outnumbered, 15 to 1, maybe 12 to 1, something like that. Completely outnumbered, and it felt good raising my hand saying, yes, I support Donald Trump. It feels good to stand up.
And another aspect of this is you can easily predict their arguments. I was saying something, and this girl wanted to ask me a question, and she actually got shut down by her own leftists. I was like, well, I know what you're going to say, and I guessed it. She was very surprised that I knew exactly what she was going to say.
Right, and that's just it. You've got to arm yourself with facts and logic, and people will just melt like the Wicked Witch did, of course, in the movies. Guys, thank you so much, and we'll be sending you some T-shirts so you can trigger all of the anti-fascists out there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for the show tonight. We'll see you here again Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Clean, pure drinking water. You can't survive without it. But where do you get it? Alexa Pure Pro is a brand new, groundbreaking, gravity-fed water filtration system that is like no other. The Alexa Pure Pro transforms water from virtually any fresh source into clean, healthy drinking water, pairing the unprecedented superfiltration power of an all-new gravity block core with a hybrid chromatic shell. It removes up to 99.999% of impurities, including bacteria, viruses, fluoride, disinfectants, volatile organic contaminants, and hormones. Filter capacity up to 5,000 gallons. Stainless steel construction. Easy assembly. Low maintenance. Replacement filters are simple to install. And now, as part of an exclusive limited time introductory offer, you can save $20 off the retail price and get free shipping. This is a limited time offer, so order your unit today and receive free shipping and $20 off. Go to InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139.